Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Live and Let Die, turn 7.2 USSR. It is July 1939. So the first thing we're going to do is begin rolling for Sleeping Bear. Every turn I get a D12, see what my income increases. Perfectly average. Got a 7. So I move up to 15. Alright. Next, I am going to decline Molotov-Ribbentrop. Fighting, or Panzer J didn't even offer it to me, but no thank you. I really don't think in version 3 it's a good deal for Russia. Okay, I'm going to begin my stage 3 research as far as tech rolls. So the first thing I want to roll for is advanced artillery. Need a 7. 4, fail. Next thing I'm going to roll for is my heavy strategic bombers. Need a 9 or more. Got it. Excellent. Okay. Thank you again, Bill, for talking me to go down this path. Next is the strategic rockets. Need a 9 or more. Yes. Oh my god, I got both the hard ones in the same turn. And then lastly, I am rolling for wartime economy. Can we make it 3 out of 4? 6. Okay, well, I'm really happy because I got 2 out of 4, and the 2 I got were harder to get, so that is a lucky tech roll turn. No purchases with the USSR, and the CCP has 12, and will spend all of it on 3 artillery pieces. Now I'm connected to Russia, so I can purchase artillery. Okay, combat movement. I am going to move from Shantung into Hunan with 1 infantry, and that'll make CCP go up 2 to 11, and it makes the KMT go down to 5. Then I'm going to move these 3 infantry into Nanking, along with these 3 cavalry. I want to briefly point something out here. In Nanking, the Rondel is on the other side of the river from me, so I am going to have to, on the first turn, take a -1 penalty with these 6 units attacking those 2 militia. Furthermore, this militia will get a bonus of +1 for being in a city. So we'll see how that battle goes. But if I succeed, I'll go up 2 and I'll evolve to a major power. On the Russian side, they're going to declare war on Mongolia and move into Karelian with 2 infantry and 1 cavalry from Chita. They're going to move into central Mongolia with 2 infantry from Chita and 2 infantry from Angara. If you notice this attack, Karelians has a mountain border here as I'm crossing in. So on the first turn, these guys will be -1 as they're crossing the mountain border, and then I'll fight in the clear. So 1 round of the mountain border, then normal combat values, whereas this rondel is sitting in the mountains. So when I'm fighting this cavalry, the whole time, these 4 units will be at -1. And that is the summary of my combat movement. Let's do some combat. I'm gonna rotate the camera around. Okay, let's put on a rondel there for having captured Hunan. And you can see I've got 3 infantry. This is the attack on Nanking. 3 infantry, but they're across the river. So on the first turn, they moved down to here. And these cavalry were across the river, so on the first turn they moved down to 2. And these militia are defending in the city, so they move up 1 to 3. And in addition, whenever you have an infantry unit, infantry class unit defending in a city, they get target selection if they roll a 1. So they could choose to kill the cavalry if either of those 2 guys hit on a 1. Let the rolling begin. So I've got 3 shots at 1 with my 3 infantry. Miss. And then I've got 3 shots at 2 with my cavalry. 1 hit. Okay, and then the militia, they get to fire back. 2 guys firing at 3. 1 hit. So I lose a man too. Militia died here. Okay, now we'll, so I'll put this over here. Now we'll do round 2, but notice that I move up because I crossed the river. Now my infantry attack at 2 and my cavalry attack at 3. So I have 2 infantry attacking at 2. I hit the final guy, but just in case I've made a mistake, I'm going to have my 2 cavalry attacking at 3. I have an extra hit if I've messed up in some way. And then the militia, they are defending at 3. Miss. Okay, so I take Nanking and I evolve to a major power. My income goes up to 13 with the CCP, and KMT drops to 3. I'll put a marker on that space. So there is only 2 infantry and 3 cavalry in Nanking after the combat. Okay, get rid of these guys. That's our first battle. Now, the next battle is in Mongolia. So now let's do the battle in Carulian. I have 2 attacking infantry and 1 attacking cavalry versus this militia. The militia is defending at 2. The 2 infantry start off at 2, but since they're attacking in mountain across a border, the very first round, they're going to get knocked down to 1. And this cavalry would start off at 3, but since it's crossing this border into Carulian, it will only be at a 2. So let the rolling begin. For my 2 infantry at 1, miss, and then 1 cavalry at 2, miss. Then the militia is defending at 2, miss. Okay, now, because it crossed a border, now I'm fighting in the plains. So we were here in the mountain range, and now we've crossed over into the plains. And so the rest of the time, my infantry attack at 2 and my cavalry attacks at 3. So I've got 2 at 2, hit, and just in case there's an error, 1 at 3, miss. And then they get 1 at 2, the militia fires back, miss. Okay, so I successfully take Carulian with 2 infantry and 1 cavalry. And I can put my Soviet Rondel in that territory. And I go up 1 IPP with Russia to 16, and I think that's the end of that combat. Now the second attack is in central Mongolia, right next to it. I've got 2 infantry and then 2 cavalry. And I am attacking this 1 cavalry, which defends at 2. Because I'm attacking into a mountain territory, then I get knocked down 1 for each of these. So my infantry is only attacking at a 1, and my 2 cavalry are only attacking at a 2. So here are the 2 infantry attacking at 1. Miss. And here are the 2 cavalry attacking at 2. Hit. So now it is the cavalry's turn to fire back. It has 1 shot at 2. Almost hits. It got a 3, but it does not. So I kind of cut it pretty close there. Probably closer than I should have. But I wanted to get by with just the minimum possible forces, and I think I did that. So that is Central Mongolia, and that's another one IPP that goes up for Russia to 17. I'm tied with Japan. And that is the end of my combat phase. Now, I'm going to move the camera. I wrote myself a little note to move the camera after the combat phase. You might hear my kids playing Wii. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do my non-combat movement now. 2 mountain infantry move from Shenxi to Szechuan. And I'm going to move 5 infantry from Shanghai over to Suiyuan. I've got 10 ships, so I have 5 infantry already there in Suiyuan. And the Shanghai 5 guys join them, so I'll have a total of 10 infantry in Suiyuan, and then the 2 militia that were there. Okay. And next we will do 1 cavalry moves from Tibet to Szechuan. And then we will have 1 mountain infantry moves from Tibet into Yunnan. And my torpedo boat destroyer, I have my torpedo boat destroyer. Let me see if I can get that on camera, because I've been moving it off the camera. Okay. So it's here in the Danish Straits, and it will move to and join my fleet here. So now, just to go over my Russian fleet in the Baltic, I have 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, 3 destroyers, 4 submarines, and 1 torpedo boat destroyer sitting in Sea Zone 16. I'll rotate that. Oh, also I'll move this coastal sub from 33 to 24. Let's rotate this back. Okay. That is the end of my non-combat movement. All right, I'm going to place these 3 artillery here in Suiyuan. I'm probably butchering that name. My apologies. Someone can write it out phonetically if they have an understanding of how to say that. I'm going to do my recruitment roll for the CCP. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, it's automatic. Let me just double check. I got 4, I got 3, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so automatic success with the CCP, and I will place an infantry in, let's see, I'm placing that infantry in, I wrote down to put it in Singkang. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in Singkang. Okay. The USSR collects 17. They ended last turn with 37. So that's 54 by my math. And the CCP collects 13. I believe that's the end of my turn. Global War 36 enthusiast, now turning this over to Panzer J, and 7.3 Japan.